What's up, you all, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha. I hope that you all are having a great day as well as a blessed day today. So, today, what I want to get into is open opportunities. And this is referring to open opportunities to Satan, because what we have to be mindful of is that we ourselves are not giving place to the devil. Ephesians 4:27 tells us not to give place to the devil. What does it look like giving place to the devil? Giving place to the devil means you yourself operating in sin. Sin is the biggest way that we can give place to the devil. Whenever you are operating in things that are opposite of God, that opposes God's will, that opposes God's truth, then ultimately this is allowing the enemy to have access to you, because you are out of alignment with what it is that God says is good for your life. And whenever you also operate right in cycles and patterns that the devil himself may have started, but you yourself have came into agreement with, because you're still going through it and enduring it. This is also you giving place to the devil, because you haven't done anything to free yourself, right? When you continue to operate in sin and you think that you're still in God's good grace and will, you are deceived. And this is also a key element of the enemy, is deception. Just how he tricked Eve into eating from the tree, because he got her to look at it and see the goodness of the tree, although God told her not to eat from it. She saw it and saw some good in it, right? And so he also deceived her by telling her that she will be like God, right? One thing about Satan is that when he comes with deception, oftentimes he comes with a little bit of truth to it, but it's always going to be back with a lie. And if you just look at the goodness of something without looking at the depth of what that thing really means, right, then you will ultimately fall into the trap of Satan's lies, and then fall victim to his trap, and also allow him to have access, right, and open opportunity to rule and reign in your life. This is why a lot of people be in certain patterns and cycles, because you have again came into agreement with what it is that Satan has placed into your life, and instead of operating the way that God has told you to, you are now in this pattern that Satan has placed you in, and you haven't done anything to free yourself. Because first, 9 times out of 10, you're probably living in deception, right? And when you're living in deception, this is going to be the thing that is going to block right out the truth. And so it keeps you stuck, and it keeps you bound to whatever it is that Satan is doing. It also leaves you blind, right? Some people can't even see the actual thing that is hindering them. Like, some people can't really see or know what Satan's plan is, or what weapon he is using to get them where they are. And so this is why you can be blaming other people. This is why you can be blaming Satan. Although he may have started it, you yourself are now to blame, because you have been aware, okay, that something is wrong. I am continuously going through this thing, and this is not good for me, right? And when you know something is wrong for you, when you know something is not right for you, when you know that you are operating in a way that is not good, and you continue to operate in that thing anyway, then this is you giving place to the devil. Listen, he is hungry. The Bible says, I think in 2 Peter 5, that he walks around as a roaring lion, seeking whom to devour. Listen, he's trying to utterly destroy you. He's not just coming to play a little game of like pick-a-boo, tap, tap, hide and seek. No. He's not out here playing on kitty games. He is out here to utterly destroy you. And oftentimes we make his job so easy when we do not know. And even when you do know and you make his job easy, what does that say about you? That says that you are under the reign and the kingdom of the enemy. I'm sorry, but that's the truth, because we can only serve one master. You cannot serve God and the devil. You cannot operate outside of God's will and think you are pleasing to God and thinking that you are okay. No, you are comfortable in your sin. This means that you are comfortable with whatever the devil is doing in your life, because sin is the ultimate gateway for the enemy's entry into your life. And so it was funny to me. I don't know why this is just it's like I can hear him saying this, right? When at the beginning of the book of Job, when God asked the devil, where was he coming from? This man said, walking to and fro on the earth, walking up and down it. So I don't know, that's just funny to me. I can hear him like, this man is literally always roaming. This gives us his mindset and just how he operates. Like he's always trying to get way into your life. And again, the sad part is a lot of people make his job so easy. You often can find yourself battling, right? Battling mentally, battling emotionally, not understanding why things are the way they are. And that could be because you may not want to accept the fact that it's you. And let's say you do accept the fact and say, okay, I know that I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that. If you know that it is you doing something and yet you still don't change it, what does that say? Right? You have to begin to ask yourself these questions. What does this say about me? Because I have to at some point just be okay. Like anytime you aren't doing anything to free yourself of the bonds that Satan has had you in, then what does that say? Like, we know that things aren't easy. Even Paul said, the things I want to do, I can't do. The things I don't want to do, I do, right? But in that, we still know that there are practical things that we can do to help ourselves get up out of situations instead of constantly making it the excuse that I can't. Because ultimately you can. God gives us the ability to get up out of the things that Satan has placed us in. And the Bible also tells us that. This is why the Bible is key. Because the Bible is going to give you instructions and tools and practical things that you can do to free yourself up out of the snares of the enemy. Because it is possible to you. You just have to want it bad enough. You can't continue to live life shooting blindly and blaming other people, or either just continuously to stay stuck, right, in the mess, in the chaos, right, in the ultimate self-destruction that you're living in, because it's more than life. Like, you just got to get to a place where you are willing to be free. That should be the goal, to be free and live in the will of God, instead of constantly letting the enemy reign and rule in your life. Listen, because he's going to do it no matter what. Now listen, let me say this. As a child of God, when you come to God, does he go harder? Absolutely. Because he knows that once we step into, right, who God has called us to be, once we answer the call on our lives, he knows that we have authority over him, and that at our authority over him, he has to submit and be subdued to what it is that we say. Also, he has to flee from us, because once we submit ourselves to God, James 4:7, the devil has to flee. He cannot stay. And so, although he will try to continue to attack, right, you whenever you come to God, his plans and the things that he does, they do not work. That is the difference. You have to get to a place within yourself where you are armored up, Ephesians 6, and you know how to fight him. Because when you learn how to fight him, listen, you can defeat him and overcome him. And that is the thing that he is ultimately scared of. So that's why, again, his end goal is to utterly destroy you. So stop giving place to the devil. Stop being content and comfortable and operating in your sin and thinking that all is going to be well with you. Because I'm here to tell you that all is not well with you. I don't care how good things may be for a season. I don't care how good things may look and appear to be. Listen, in the midst of that, at the end of that all, chaos is coming. Destruction is coming. Danger is coming. Things that are not good for you are coming. The devil's end game, hell for you, is coming. You don't have to like it, but it is the truth. And a lot of people, especially God's people, because the devil already has his children. Listen, they are already where they are, comfortable and content, and know where they're going, excluding them. God's people are living a life of deception, especially continuously operating in sin and thinking that you're good. You're not. Get yourself out of any pattern and cycle that the devil has started. You have the power to end it. Get yourself out of any mindsets or any behaviors, right? Any way of speaking even about yourself that are a lie from the enemy, right? Because you have to come into submission and agreement with God's word and with God's will and what he says about you for your life, so that those things can stand over what it is that the enemy is doing. You have to begin to declare, right, that every word that the enemy spoken, all the works of the enemy have fallen to the ground, that they are non-effective over your life. These are the practical things that you have to do to keep yourself from believing and falling victim in the trap of the enemy. Because again, he's relentless. He's not going to stop. And oftentimes when he leaves you alone, because he no longer has to do anything, right? He already has you in a set pattern, and that's you being blinded, is what I said earlier. A lot of people are blinded, and so really you're still blaming the enemy when really at this point it's you, right? And so with all of that being said, you have the power to not give any place to the devil. Begin to close all entry points and all opportunities, right? Close all doors that are open to the enemy, so that you can be separate, right? And begin to step into, right, God's kingdom and God's will and God's plan for your life. Because God is here to protect his. And anything that the enemy thinks that he's going to do to one of God's children, it's just simply not going to work. So I pray that anyone who comes across this video, that it blesses you, that it may have been the thing that you needed to hear, because I think that a lot of people stray away from certain things or don't want to hear, right? The truth about themselves and the things that they themselves do that are giving way, right, to the enemy, right? Because we all have lived a life where we have done things, I myself included, right, where I gave place to the devil, where I know I can look back and be like, wow, like I was really out here living for the enemy, making his job so much easier. But I made a decision to free myself from that, and that I did. And if I can do it, let me tell you, you can do it too. So stay blessed. I love you, and I pray that again this video blessed you. And feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. And until next time.